The story of Job is one of the most well-known and impactful tales in the Bible. It revolves around a man named Job who faced unimaginable suffering, yet remained faithful to God throughout his trials. The book of Job is found in the Old Testament of the Bible and is a powerful narrative of perseverance, faith, and the nature of suffering. The story of Job begins with a description of Job as a righteous and wealthy man who lived in the land of Uz. Job was known for his piety and devotion to God, and he was blessed with a large family, many possessions, and good health. However, one day Satan came before God and challenged Job's faith. Satan argued that Job only served God because he had been blessed with wealth and prosperity, and that if God were to take away everything he had, Job would turn away from him. God accepted Satan's challenge and allowed him to test Job's faith. In a series of tragic events, Job lost all of his possessions, his children, and his health. Despite these immense sufferings, Job did not curse God. Instead, he fell to the ground in worship and proclaimed, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job's friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him in his affliction. However, instead of offering solace, they questioned Job's righteousness and accused him of committing secret sins that led to his suffering. Job's friends believed that suffering was a punishment for sin, and that Job must have done something to deserve his misfortune. Throughout the story, Job defended his innocence and questioned why God would allow such suffering to befall him. He cried out for an explanation, longing for a response from God. Job's questioning and cries for justice are raw and honest, reflecting the pain and confusion he experienced during his trials and the midst of his suffering. Job wrestled with the concept of God's justice and the nature of suffering. He struggled to understand why the righteous suffer while the wicked prosper. Job's friends offered various explanations for his suffering, attributing it to his actions or lack of faith. But Job refused to accept their reasoning, recognizing that his suffering was not a punishment for sin but a test of his faith. Job pleaded with God for answers, demanding to know why he had to endure such immense suffering. Finally, God appeared to Job in a whirlwind and spoke to him, showing his power and sovereignty over all creation. God revealed his wisdom and knowledge, reminding Job of his divine nature and the limits of human understanding. In the end, Job realized the depth of God's power and wisdom and humbled himself before him. He acknowledged his own limitations and admitted that he could never comprehend the full extent of God's plans and purposes. Job repented of his questioning and trusted in God's sovereignty, accepting that his ways are higher than our ways. As a result of his faithfulness and perseverance, God restored to Job double what he had lost. Job received new children, wealth, and blessings, showing that God rewards those who remain faithful in the face of adversity. The story of Job teaches us valuable lessons about faith, suffering, and the nature of God. It challenges us to trust in God's plan even when we do not understand it, to persevere through trials with unwavering faith, and to seek God's wisdom and guidance in times of trouble. Job's story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the midst of suffering and hardship, God is present and working in our lives. It encourages us to remain steadfast and faithful, knowing that God's love and mercy are never-ending. Job's example of faith and perseverance continues to inspire and uplift believers to this day, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, God is faithful and will never abandon us.